And Gloriosa's like, hey, Roger, you know, I'm the one in love with you. Look at me. And Roger's like, move. I'm trying to get a look at Shakky. Shakky was like that. Shakky was like that. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying she was ugly. I ain't saying she was bad, because don't get it twisted. She was like that. But I didn't know she had this much pull over Gloriosa back in the day. Shakky might have been the most sought after woman in One Piece. May have been back in the time. Had Roger, Gabon, had everyone going after one expected, and other people were horny in this too. Gloriosa, Roger, why were y'all so horny? Rayleigh, my boy, had Calm Collective Riz, had Shakky out here dismissing. We'll get into that. And then Rocks, we saw more about Rocks in this chapter. I said a while ago, I didn't think that we're gonna get even more about Rocks. I thought we were done. Made me a liar, because we're still involved with Rocks with the Harald flashback. This is One Piece chapter 1156. We gotta talk about it. I thought the beginning of the chapter was so random because it involved Roger, Garp, and the Kuja pirates. No clue why. I mean, I guess it kind of has something to do, and I'll explain a little bit later how Gloriosa joined the Rocks pirates. But at first I didn't know why they were involved, but I'm very happy because Boa Hancock is one of my favorite characters in the series. I love her beauty, how much she cares about herself, how she holds herself, and she's just a strong baddie. What's not to like about that? But we didn't really get much lore about the Kuja pirates. Honestly, we haven't seen much of Boa Hancock since Marineford. There was that one little bit when Blackbeard took over the island, or tried to take over the island, but besides that, nothing. So I love seeing the history of the Kuja pirates, because there was other pirate empresses before hers. There was Shakky, there was Gloriosa, and the other one, I think her name starts with a T. I don't remember her because we don't really see much about her. But like I said, I love seeing the lore of the Kuja pirates, because before the Great Pirate Era really started, so when Roger, Rocks, and Garp, when they were at their peak, there were other pirates that would attack different lands, different countries, different islands, and the Marines could not stop them. And this was none other than the Kuja pirates. And you want to know why the Marines couldn't stop them? Because they were so beautiful, they didn't do anything to them, similar to what we see with Boa Hancock now. The difference is that Boa Hancock's devil fruit, I don't know if you guys realize this, Boa's devil fruit is actually pretty trash when you think about it, but her beauty, because she is a dynamite gal, it elevates the devil fruit. And back then, Gloriosa, Shakky, and other members of the Kuja pirates, they didn't have her devil fruit, but they were still so bad that it caused Marines and other pirates to lose their fighting sense around them. One thing I like about Gloriosa here is, as you see her get older, get wiser, it perfectly explains how just older people and wisdom and try to bestow that on the younger generation, because Boa, we know that she's arrogant. Part of it is because of, you know, her putting up that persona, because she was kidnapped, she was captured, turned into a slave. She didn't want to lower her guard ever again to experience that. But at the same time, she didn't steal it, because Gloriosa, Shakky, I assume Tritoma, maybe we saw her a little bit in this chapter. She's a kid at this time, so we're not entirely sure how she's going to grow up, but they didn't, Boa Hancock didn't steal that arrogance, because Gloriosa and Shakky, they walk like they're the baddest bees in history. And I love how during Amazon Lily, Gloriosa is constantly trying to tell Hancock, like, yo, you need to chill out, you need to do this, because Gloriosa's experienced everything. She experienced stuff back in the day when she was younger. She knows what to learn from, and, you know, is trying to bestow that wisdom, which is, you know, it's great, because that's what old people do IRL, try to bestow wisdom on the younger generation. But also, they need to have some grace, because, well, when they were younger, they were wild too. I was not familiar with Shakky's game. Don't get it twisted. Her in her older age as of now, oh, she's still bad. Do not get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. But her in the past, Shakky, she was up there. I might have to make a new list, a new order of the baddest women in One Piece. She was so bad that anytime the Kuja pirates would get different fan letters, Gloriosa, oh, her list was pretty big, but Shakky would outdo, as the first mate, right? She would outdo her. I think it said either 100 times or receive 10 times more fan letters than Gloriosa. And if I'm being honest, and this is just my personal opinion, I think Gloriosa is a little bit better, but that's like comparing Beyonce to Rihanna. who the heck cares? One's Beyonce and one's Rihanna. We finally figured out who was the man that gave Gloriosa the love sickness. We know that Boa Hancock suffered from it, and that's because of Luffy. Shakky, her person was Rayleigh, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in this chapter. And Gloriosa's was none other than Gol D. Roger. There were several instances when the Kuja pirates and the Roger pirates would clash, and this is all because Roger, he was in love not with Gloriosa, and I know a lot of people are going to talk Luffy Hancock ship because of Roger. I'll get into that as well, but no, Roger was obsessed with Shakky because, like I said, even though Gloriosa was bad, everyone wanted Shakky. I love Shakky here. It's making me love her even more as a character, and seeing the way that she fights, Boa Hancock probably inherited from her as well, because the Roger pirates, as I mentioned, they pull up. Shakky's like, hey, who the heck are you gonna take it? Everybody's like, oh my gosh, Shakky. Roses wilted whenever they saw her. Birds, they lost their voice, they couldn't chirp any longer. Everyone, their eyes went into hearts. Gabon tried to attack, didn't do nothing, right? Was too swooned by her. Roger tried to attack, hesitated because she was bad. Shakky knocked him out. Roger out here on the ground, and he fought. He's the strongest character, one at least top 3 in the series. And guess what? Shakky out here put that man in his place. Shakky so bad, her beauty humbled even the mightiest of warriors, and I love it here. Roger here already got his butt whooped, and Gloriosa's like, hey Roger, you know, I'm the one in love with you, look at me. And Roger's like, move. I'm trying to get a look at Shakky walking, you know, all these guys are horny for her. She looks over at Rayleigh and is like, oh, it must be hard for you. Rayleigh ain't even reacting. And Shakky, she fell in love with Rayleigh first. Rayleigh fell harder, of course, but she out here winking at him. It's like, hey, that's my man. And Rayleigh didn't react, of course. I just find it funny how everyone wants her. Rayleigh doesn't even care, and she out here wants Rayleigh. Now this part of the chapter, I thought it was random. I didn't necessarily think it flowed with the story, but I don't give a fluff. You know why? Because we got to see Garp and Roger clash for the first time. It's been a lot of hyped up, a lot of, you know, different instances where they said they clashed forever, but Garp, he pulls up. We know his obsession with Roger. We know how much they enjoy fighting with each other, and so it's just dope to see because we don't ever see it. Just these two people acting like little kids clashing with each other. It's so dope because we always hear about these legends. We see them in their old age, but Roger, Garp, and Zebek, they were considered legends of their generation. I did wonder why Gloriosa was a part of the Rocks Pirates. I know all of them are in it for their own agenda, perfectly fine, but if she was the pirate empress and, you know, the captain of the Kuja pirates, why the heck did she leave? But that's because after this interaction happened, just, you know, a little bit later, Shakky, because of her popularity, she ended up becoming the captain of the Kuja pirates, which allowed Gloriosa to leave. That also might be part of the love sickness. We know Gloriosa stated that she left because she didn't want to die from that disease, and so joining Rocks might have been her best shot to go see Roger. But if you guys enjoy regular One Piece content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I'm putting out different One Piece content almost each and every day. We cut back to Harald, and Loki, he is constantly trying to go out to sea, constantly trying to make it to Hachinosu so that he can join Rox's crew. And in this instance, he started drowning because the ship that he was on capsized. And obviously Harald, hearing this, once again cares about his son and went back and checked on Loki. I love Ida here. She is a caring individual, been that way ever since we first was introduced to her. And she said, hey, like, why didn't you check on Loki? Or was talking to the person, was like, you seen him drowning, why didn't you go after him sooner? And Ida's like, hey, maybe that means that Loki, you need to come stay with me. And obviously, because this man doesn't understand love or motherly love, he rejects that, starts talking bad to Ida, but she doesn't care. She just looks at everything as positive, on the bright side. And it makes me sad that Loki didn't get to experience this motherly love, and now that someone is actually showing this, he can't accept it. We know that the Rocks Pirates, they took over Hachinosu, and so since this was their base, different strong individuals were coming to this island so that they could join the Rocks Pirates. A man named Kyo the Wicked, he's also known in the future as Silver Axe, he's Shakky's rival. He's here, he wants to join the Rocks Pirates. Xebec says that he's after 2 legendary devil fruits. One of them resides in Elbaph, and he believes that the only person that can truly use his power is King Harald, hence why he wants him to join his crew. Captain John brings up the Galleria folks, which are those giant shipwrights that were frozen, or just what we see as legends that I believe Jarl talked about. Big Mom is here, so within those several months she joined the Rocks Pirates. She has different connections, and freaking Strusen was a part of the Rocks Pirates. It looks like Strusen was on the level of Big Mom. Well, maybe not to say on the level, but it appears Strusen was something like Big Mom's right hand, because in parentheses it says partner in crime, and obviously Strusen, he's a little bit older now, so Katakuri is not Big Mom's right hand, but it's the second strongest in the Big Mom crew. There's also a fishman here, his name is Barbell. Looks like every strong crew has a fishman. You got Jinbei on Luffy's crew, you got Barbell on the Rocks Pirates, and then Roger, I don't know if the name was revealed ever, but he had a fishman on his crew too. It's dope seeing Kaido here as well. And Kaido being the youngin, the hothead, he's like, hey, can't we just use our strength to take over and force Harald to join the crew? And this is where Xebec's like, hey, don't you ever bring that up again. Don't even have that thought. Harald's my friend. If I'm going to get him to join, I'm not going to do it by force. The chapter officially ends with us seeing every member of the Rock Pirates. So there's Big Mom, Shakky, Whitebeard, Kaido, freaking Silver Axe, Don Marlin. So everyone's here. The only person that I don't see is Gloriosa, but as I mentioned, she's there at God Valley. This takes place before God Valley because we know that's where rocks fell. And so during the time of her being the Pirate Emperor, Shakky taking over, and then God Valley, she joined somewhere in that time. But this is a dope panel of us seeing every member, of course excluding Gloriosa, as a part of the Rocks Pirates. And I don't think her being there is a big deal. I mean, shoot, Robin wasn't in the most recent double spread, including all the Straw Hats, but we know that she's a vital member of the crew. So that's it for chapter 1156. It was all over the place, I will not lie, but I enjoyed it. Seeing Garp, Roger, Gloriosa, seeing a little bit of Harald, seeing the entirety of the Rocks Pirates, dope. Wonder where the direction is going to go in the next chapter. There's a break next week because I believe the entirety of Shonen Jump is on break. Not a problem. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next chapter. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this chapter in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. From my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen in the description below. And don't forget to unleash your potential.